Before I comment on this, I'd like you all to take a look at a brief news clip.
Today, the board here at New Destiny Christian Center named Paula White as the new senior pastor, succeeding the late pastor Zachary Timms. But today, Timms' ex-wife says she is the rightful successor.
And I'm here to declare to you today that as founder of New Destiny Christian Center, that I am the real mother.
Pastor Riva Timms and her late ex-husband started New Destiny Christian Church in 1996 with 4 members. It grew into thousands. Pastor Zachary Timms was found dead in a New York hotel in August. Seeking his replacement has been a long process, one Timms says, which did not include her.
The board has refused to meet with me. They have refused to meet with me in any fashion of any kind, and so has Pastor Paula White.
Here's the part that,
Paula White is founder of Without Walls International Church, but she's controversial. She's known as a prosperity preacher, sending a message that encourages followers to give money in return for blessings. Tim's attorney has filed a lawsuit against the board of New Destiny and Paula White.
There are several counts concerning the board, concerning Paula White, and the activity that the board has taken, which we feel is illegal.
All right, so is New Destiny Church a slave plantation? Is it a church, a slave plantation, or is it a family business? So as you saw in this news clip, New Destiny Church pastors is Zachary Timms, okay? He died, and the church is in a big uproar trying to figure out who the pastor is going to be. So they decided it was going to be controversial megachurch pastor Paula White. You had people protesting and saying they didn't want her as the pastor. Just all kinds of foolishness and nonsense. And then all of a sudden, out of the shadows comes Riva Timms. Now get this, now she's the ex-wife of the late pastor Zachary Timms. So she's coming out of the shadows now. She's already a pastor of a church somewhere supposedly, but now she's coming forward to claim her Negroes. Yeah, that's right, I said it. She's coming forth claiming ownership of it's almost like she's a slave master. Almost, she's claiming ownership, and she's claiming the right to the throne of as pastor. You know, she played this role for a little while, laying back in the cut, you know, as if she, you know, had nothing to do with the process. So supposedly there was a board involved in, you know, searching for and trying to find this pastor and as the replacement for Zachary Timms. And when it became clear that I guess maybe she wasn't going to be considered, she felt compelled all of a sudden to come forward. And as you saw in that clip, she claims to be the founder and the true mother. Very interesting terminology she uses there. Doesn't come anywhere from the Bible. I don't know what she means by mother, but I can tell you one thing. Oh, by the way, Zachary Timms, his death was, of course, controversial, and his cause of death, you know, the news report said that he was supposedly found with a white powder in his pocket. And the New York Medical Examiner's office, they were stopped from releasing that information, the cause of death, by a lawsuit, which, long story short, any day now, I've actually spoken with the Medical Examiner's office, and they are just simply awaiting the judge to sign the order. Once they get a signed order from the judge, they're going to release that information. But this is what I wanted to get to, ladies and gentlemen. The point is here with this whole debacle, with this New Destiny Church, Riva Timms, Paula White debacle. This is an opportunity for people to really understand, particularly church folks, because they seem to have difficulty understanding certain things. That you know, the church membership is basically a myth. So you people that are protesting, saying that you don't want Paula White as a member of your church, or as a pastor of your church, it doesn't matter, because New Destiny Church is a business. And the only thing that matters in terms of how decisions are made in business is who is given the authority on paper. That is, and as it relates to New Destiny Church, the members of the board. Now I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Now I'm on the Secretary of State. If you can go to the Secretary of State in any state, and you can look up a corporation, which I'm about to do here, and you can see who the officers are. So I'm going to search here. I'm going to do a name search, and I'm going to search on New Destiny Christian Center. Okay, and you're going to see here. I know already. This is the entry here. You can see here. This is New Destiny Christian Church. Here, Zachary Timms. His name is still on here. Okay, there are only 3 people that matter in this situation as it relates to who's going to be the pastor of that church, of New Destiny Christian Church, located in Apopka, Florida, in the Orlando area. And those 3 people are Sam Anderson, Elder Sam Anderson, and the Asanisons. That's Fred and Marguerite Asanison. And they are both of them, by the way, are actually on the New Destiny website. I saw them. They're on the staff page as elders, if I'm not mistaken. Here they are. You see these people here? Fred Asanison. I just want to make sure you all understand this. Fred Asanison, Marguerite Asanison, and Sam Anderson. There's Marguerite there again, or Mrs. Asanison. Sam Anderson. These are the only 3 people that matter on paper. So all this stuff about, an executive board, they put out some press release talking about, here's the special, there's Paula White right there. It's a done deal. Special announcement here talks about this board of regents and this board of directors is pleased to announce, okay, that Paula White has become the new senior pastor, new director. This is really all hogwash. This fancy language about board of regents and board of directors, that really only refers to 3 people. As I mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, these 3 people right here. So, New Destiny Christian Center, and by the way, this same understanding needs to be arrived at as it relates to New Birth in Bishop Long. You've been telling people this for, I don't know for how long now, that New Birth Church is not a church, it's a business. Here's the Georgia Secretary of State, just to show you another example. Here's New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, where Eddie Long is the CEO, right? By the way, Eddie Long's, the New Birth Church, their academy, their K through 12 school closed. People got a letter right before Christmas that it was closed for good. So all the kids are all of a sudden in the middle of the year have no school to go to. Anyway, man, and he couldn't even announce this ahead of time. But I'm getting off track. The point I want to make here is only 3 people matter as it relates to what goes on in New Birth Church. That's Eddie Long, Adolphus Armstrong, and Mary Hill. So it doesn't matter how many boys he molests. It doesn't matter how much money he steals. It doesn't matter if his wife divorces him. It doesn't matter how much people protest. These 3 people have to say so. And by the way, let me go back to something that Riva Timms said. Riva Timms is over here talking about she's the true mother, and she was talking about as being founder of New Destiny. And I want to go back and show you here, going back to the Secretary of State. You can find a lot of information, by the way, on the Secretary of State's website. But here are the documents that were filed when that church was first founded. We're going to take a look here. Okay, these are the Articles of Incorporation, New Destiny Christian Church. This is the paperwork that you file. This is all it costs to start a church in Florida, $78.75. This is the papers that were filed in order to start the church. Articles of Incorporation. This is all you need to start a church in the United States of America. operate as a religious organization, specifically directors will be elected according to the Bible. The point I want to make here is that Riva Timms' name is nowhere on this document as an incorporator. So she's not a founder of anything. So I just wanted to point that out. So, ladies and gentlemen, so as I wrap up this video, you know, you can cry and protest all you want, you know, but New Destiny Church is not, it's not a church. We might as well take the name off of there. Riva Timms seems to think it's a slave plantation because she's coming out of the shadow. She's been divorced from her husband for 2 years, and now she's coming forward claiming ownership of this church and the Negroes, and I guess the white folks too that are in there. You know, she's claiming to have ownership and some right to as an heir to this ministry. But it's not. It's not a plantation, Riva Timms. I'm sorry. It's definitely not a church. It's a business, but it's not a family business because, you know, for it to be a family business, your name has to be on something, Riva Timms. So you're not even on here as an incorporator or founder of anything. So I think what Riva Timms ought to do is just go home. She needs to probably, you know, find another line of work, find some kind of way to take care of her children, because this is a done deal. That lawsuit is going to be thrown out. I don't even know why that lawyer even took her money, but this is sad. It's a shame, and everybody might as well just go home. If those of you who love Riva Timms so much, I don't understand why you don't just leave New Destiny and just go on over to her church. That way everybody's happy. Anyway, that concludes my comments, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. God bless.